What's going on, everybody? It's me, Supa Dave, and this is Supa Sips, not to be confused with Supa Clips. Ooh, I like that. Branding, SEO. We're going down memory lane today, seeing as how people talk about fair use, and most of them are latecomers to this whole ordeal. And I figured today we would take a stroll back to the last copyright strike I got, which was August 26, 2024. And this is when I was threatened to have a content creator show up at my house. And it wasn't just my house, it was the houses of anybody who was making content about a certain YouTuber. They were threatened. The person said he was going to hop on a plane, knock on all of our doors, and call us pansies or whatever he said. And he said this live on his live stream. And I got pretty butthurt. I was very butthurt. And I went live on my live stream and I reacted to him saying he was going to show up at my house, which is crazy that he said he had my address. But then while trying to serve a lawsuit, he had to put out a $4,000 bounty to get my address. And even then, he couldn't find my address. That is beyond the point. But we are going to take a look at this live stream from 2024. This was before the Megans, before the Tuggles, before the Hips, before all of them. It was basically just two leaves in a pod, Supa Dave, think Psychobabble Raps, Ray Bone Crusher, a few others. I was just amazed when I was rewatching this. And the reason why this video got brought to my attention is an authority basically asked me for certain clips. They said, "Do you have any clips of a content creator saying that he was going to show up at your house or had PIs following you?" And I was like, "Well, I have to go through my records." And going through my records, I found this old live stream. And yeah, I did a fair use reaction to him saying certain statements. And that content creator copyright struck me for fair use content. Remember, the last video I made on this channel, I talk about how I stick up for fair use. And I wanted to show you that this was fair use reaction. Now, I'm not going to play this content creator's clips in this because I know the games he plays. He does not believe in fair use, and he has made it abundantly clear. And I find it crazy that these channels that advocate for him are so pro fair use, but the person they're advocating for truly doesn't believe in fair use and is the fastest person to copyright strike, in my opinion, of course. And again, everything I said back in 2024 and everything I'm saying right now on the Super Sips channel is my opinion. I like to express my opinions. But what I'm going to say is notice the change in confidence. You'll see a content creator in 2024 that is not the same content creator that is before you today. I was boisterous, full of piss and vinegar. I was very different than I am now. And that is because my speech has been chilled. I've had some content creator put fear into my life and literally change the way I speak online. Whether that's for the better or the worse, I don't know. But I do miss the guy that was talking in these clips. This guy had some confidence. This Super Dave was super. And I need to get back to that guy. I need to get back to the Super Dave that was overly confident. I shouldn't say he was even overly confident. He was just sure of himself. And this Super Dave is basically anything but that nowadays. And that is the results of what it was, in my opinion, a frivolous lawsuit. So let's go to this August 25th live stream from Milltown's Best live stream. All right, as you guys can tell, I had to move this to Rumble because it was copyright struck by Jeremy Hales of the channel What the Hales. And this was from August 25th, 2024. And I was copyright struck on August 26th, 2024. And this was right after, I believe that that content creator might have still been live when I was so upset that I went live to a members only stream. So here we go, guys. Let's dive in to Let's Talk Jeremy was the title.
Like I said, guys, sorry to come to you guys unannounced like this. I was not prepared to go live, so I'm not turning my camera on or anything. But yeah, this stream that I am currently watching from What the Hales, yeah, this is ridiculous, guys. This guy is clearly unhinged. I just can't with this guy. John in the chat.
I miss John.
Yeah, I turned the video off. I turned my camera off for this.
Yeah.
Just because I am not I wasn't expecting to go live. This is just for you guys, your members.
I miss the Bo Blacks plushie. Bo Blacks is another ASD YouTuber, and he was very inspirational to me. I don't think he likes me much, but I found him to be very inspirational, and he spoke out for autistic YouTubers, autistic people in general. So I always like to pay homage to Bo Blacks back in the day, and I always put his plushie that he sold. I think I actually have one somewhere, and I always like to pay tribute to him back in the day. So that's the Bo Blacks plushie, and this was back when I had my shill machine, and that was the Shill Machine 3000, and I would play all my reaction clips through the shill machine. I had gimmicks back in the day. I was very creative. I don't know what the hell happened to me.
members. Wow. Wow. So let's talk first of all about what we just witnessed on the What the Hale stream. I have just got word that this content creator essentially threatened not only myself, but threatened Bruce, threatened Toolies, threatened all the YouTubers, says that we are content farming. Miss Deanna had the gall to bring in super chats.
Oh yeah. I was real butthurt about that. That Deanna was counting our money. For some reason that pissed me off. Like, why who are you to come up? And now here I am, 2026. And essentially I'm counting their money. It's fucked up. Oh, how the tables have turned.
Into question, which makes me laugh so hard. We're gonna address all this, guys, because this is ridiculous. I'm furious.
Look at
I'm
Fubar
furious.
in the
I got I was
Miyagi.
just enjoying my night. I've made up a habit to not watch this guy's content on Sundays
ads.
because I know how unhinged he is. I know how unhinged he is. So it sets me off like I am right now. Like I am seriously, I'm set off. I'm triggered. I made a habit not to watch this guy's Sunday content, but I get a message that says
he did that on purpose, Dave. He still does that to this day. That's what he does. And I don't know why I was so late to understanding this guy's tactics. I just always thought maybe he'll learn. Maybe talking to other content creators in the commentary community, he'll understand that this is just what's done. No. Wishful thinking, Dave. Wishful thinking.
You know what? You know how that parody YouTuber that you had problems with? You know how he has your address?
A lot of people had my address back in the day, or they thought they had my address. I don't know who I was even talking about right then. Somebody. I obviously didn't want to give them promotion, so I didn't say their name.
Well, I think he gave it to Jeremy, because now Jeremy is on his live stream threatening to show up at your doorstep. Okay, let's just he is getting desperate, Wikipedia. I completely agree with
Wikipedia has been there since day one. That is one thing I'll say about Vicky, man. Is Vicky's always been there. I've had lots of conversations with Vicky where we were at each other's throats in some instances, and we agreed in a lot of instances, and we didn't agree, and so it's a roller coaster. The relationship with Wikipedia has been a roller coaster. Good-hearted person, though. I will never say a bad thing about Wikipedia.
With you. Yeah, that's it, Fubar. He knows where we all live. Can you guys believe that? He knows where we all live. I'm gonna pull some certain clips from this stream. He's still live right now.
Who would have thought? Well, I knew I was playing with fire with this guy. He had already copyright struck me 7 times before this. So I was kind of like, bro, you're pushing my buttons, I'll push your buttons. It's kind of how I think that's where my mind was at the time. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I still am an advocate for fair use. So I was like, I'll be damned if this guy's going to tell me what is and is not fair use. And again, I've said this several times. I thought his threats of lawsuit, I thought that was all talk. I was thinking this guy, I even say it in this video. I'm like, who's going to take a guy who was homeless for years and has nothing? Who's going to take them to court? Well, he did. He did.
And I was like, screw this. I'm gonna let this all out. First of all, he talks like I have this personal hatred for him. I'm a content creator. You are making content.
Yeah.
My content is covering other YouTubers' content.
Amen.
So if you are putting content in this world, Jeremy, that is actually making you look like a crazy asshole, don't be shocked if other YouTubers call you a crazy asshole. Okay? Simple as that, bro.
I still stand by those statements. I have no hatred for this guy. Never have. Now, his lawyer, on the other hand, I may have some issues with him. And that's just because what kind of lawyer takes the cases he takes. But that's a story for a different day. But I've never harbored resentment against this content creator. Never wished him ill will. All I've ever done was crack a few jokes about his content and say, I don't like how you're treating your neighbor. But he said that was me trying to inject myself into his life. Buddy, look at me. Look at the size of me. I don't want to inject myself in your life. I don't want to inject myself into anything but my next meal. Uh, I as far as my reach goes is to this keyboard and the internet box. I don't want nothing to do with your personal life. Notice I wasn't hiring private investigators. I wasn't making threats to show up in Otter Creek. I wasn't making threats to do things that are crazy, things that you've done to a lot of other people. That just, the narrative doesn't fit. I was making content as if you were a lol cow, as if you were Jeremy 2988, as if you were Wings of Hales, as if you were Jeremy DSP. I looked at you just like the lol cows of today, but you know, a unmilked one that was in the field that hasn't been milked in quite some time. That the other farmers, like that prized calf that hasn't been milked yet. That's kind of how I viewed you. It's like, bro, this guy is a sitting here prime lol cow that nobody's milking. And well, this cow kicks. And he kicked me pretty damn hard.
Bro, this is business. For you to threaten to show up at somebody's doorstep? It's called me a keyboard warrior? Bro, I'm simply trying to start a business here. I cover YouTubers. I'm sorry that you have been kind of my golden calf lately that I've been milking so pleasurably, but you're a content creator. This is what happens, bro. If you don't believe me, look up the name Chris Chan.
Oh, I forgot about Chris Chan.
Look up the name Boogie2988.
Yeah,
look up the name of Wings of Redemption. All content creators that do stupid shit and get made fun of by the internet. Yeah. I cannot help it if you are in lol cow territory, Jeremy. I cover you as a means of business. Do I personally I think you're a joke? Yes, I do. But I'm not personally invested in your life, Jeremy.
Still am not. Still am not. I'm making content on a channel right now that's got not even 30 subscribers. By the way, thank you for everybody that's subscribed to the Supa Sips channel. We're going to make a go of this thing and see how it goes. But yeah, I was just trying to make content. That's all. I'm sorry he took it so personally. It was never personal. Never personal. Yeah. I've have been going through all this old footage again for like the fifth time. And I never said anything remotely threatening to this guy. Never. And I think it's Megan who said I was thin-skinned. It sounds like this content creator is the one who is thin-skinned. I mean, I got copyright struck for responding to him saying he was gonna show up at my house. I'll never understand it.
Do I care about what's going on with Lynette and everything? Yeah, I think it's fucked up. I really think it's fucked up.
Yeah.
I think you, sir, are fucked up. I think you are losing the plot, Jeremy. You are seriously unhinged at this point. You are attacking other content creators for talking about your public content.
Yeah, and I mean, this was before any of the lawsuits or anything. And he was going hard back then. It only got worse since 2024. And if anything, I pulled my reins back. Like you guys notice, I'm a very confident person in this video. I'm so confident and sure of my content. He's robbed that from me. He truly robbed that from me. And I don't think I'll ever get that level of confidence back because people have seen me at my lowest of low. They have seen me feel stalked and harassed and feel victimized. So to ever get back to this level of confidence, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of self work. But I'm going to put it in because I miss this guy. I miss this guy. Not all of him, but there's certain aspects that I miss of him. I miss the confidence.
That right there was a threat, Jeremy, saying that you're going to get on a plane. You're going to get on a plane and show up at another content creator's house because he said what you're doing is wrong. Because he said that you are essentially taking a private family, and this is all my opinion. Everything I preface with my opinion, Jeremy. You make fun of Bruce Matskin. Why? Because he sees an opportunity to better himself. You say he doesn't have a job even though he's got 27 years of law experience. You bring on all your little goons. You bring on all your little people. Let's talk about how Deanna didn't even want to do that, but you forced her to, allegedly. And now,
I think I'm talking about how she didn't want to go on Lynette's property. I'm almost positive that's what I was talking about. Because the whole thing is, I believe during that video, she can be heard saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Yet she did it. So I think that's what I was referring to.
now she's a hero. Now she's talking. Now she's trying to put her hands in my pockets and trying to tell me how I should spend my money that I earned by making content like you earned by making your content. I'm sorry if we have two different philosophies, Jeremy, on what a content creator is.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you say your content is more worthwhile than mine because you film and you do this. I am sorry if I can get a better or higher RPM covering other content creators than you can get going out and spending thousands of dollars making your own content. Maybe you need to reevaluate your business model, and instead of, I think you have been actually, because now you don't even spend thousands on storage units anymore. Haven't been as of late. Lately, you've been milking Miss Preston, and you realize you can get a decent RPM just simply talking in your sunroom.
He still talks in the sunroom too. I miss this guy.
Wikipedia says that's a credible threat. Time to get a CPO. I am a businessman. And you talk about all these people that don't have jobs and this, and that. How is me making content not a job when it's a job for you? Because I'm at the beginning.
According to somebody else, in 2026, I make my living doing this.
Beginning of it, because I am trying to grow something. I am sorry if people support my content. If you notice, most of my quote-unquote super chats, Deanna, came from nothing to do with this case. They came on my birthday stream where people genuinely donated to me for my birthday.
Yeah.
And if you really want to know about who hasn't donated, well, I have donated to Miss Preston. You know what I'm saying? I live in Wisconsin. I don't live in Florida. I have issues with people, but I will help Miss Preston any which way I can. We are trying to put the other side of this story out.
That's all we've ever done. And I'm working on a video right now about BJ Investigates, the YouTube channel, where she had a documentary made about her and a few other people. And it was like a full-on smear campaign. And at least this is from my observations thus far into my investigation into it all. But I've noticed a lot of similarities between the BJ story and what's happening with all these Hales content creators. And one of BJ's biggest problems was the person making the documentary wasn't even going to reach out to BJ for her take on the story, even though she was the originator of the free BAM movement. And how can you tell a story without getting both sides? And that's how I feel about a lot of these pro Hale content creators. Not one of them ever reached out to any of us for our opinions. But everybody on this side has reached out to them at one time or another to get their side of it and to get their understanding. But they don't want to hear this side of it. That's bias, in my opinion. And I see a lot of similarities. And that's not how stories or journalism should be done. That's how propaganda is formed. That is how narratives are spun. And something needs to be done about that, in my opinion, especially in like major media, mainstream media. There needs to be changes made.
I am seriously at this point where this content creator is losing his mind, and he does not realize how much trouble he is going to get himself in by threatening other content creators for merely covering his content in fair use.
It's funny. I said this in 2024, and here we are, 2026, and it appears like trouble is on the horizon, and that sucks. People always say it's crazy how shit catches up to you, and all that needed to be done was chill the fuck out. I know a lot of other people have chilled the fuck out, but I don't know. Time will tell, and that's the truth of the story. Time does tell.
You guys want to see some fair use? Let's talk fair use. I have no shame in this.
And then from there, guys, I go into reacting to his content, and I was copyright struck for that. So that's where I'm gonna leave this reaction, guys. Just going back to 2024 and to see how upset I was. And I was even more upset when I was copyright struck for just reacting to somebody talking directly to me through a video. If you guys got a kick out of going down memory lane, I have so much backlog of footage, and maybe that's what I'll do with Super Sips. Maybe I'll go down memory lane every now and then. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys got a kick out of this and want to see more, leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Super Sips, not to be confused with Super Clips. Bye, guys.